And our last performer on the brave side of the stage is Angela Carter. Frankly, I love the syncopation of her voice when she speaks and reads her poetry. She's an author, a poet, a novelist, a motivational speaker, and a spoken word performer. But she's also a visual artist and an advocate. She's a 2014 Pushcart Prize nominee and a nominee for the 2015 Virginia Library Literary Award in poetry. She's also been featured in a number of notable spoken word venues, including DC's own Busboys and Poets. And in addition to writing, she's a full-time director of outreach in Harrisonburg, Virginia, at a mental health awareness and substance abuse recovery center there. Angela is a mother to her daughters Eve and Eleanor, and recently celebrated her 15th wedding anniversary. Angela Carter. And her poem is entitled Depressed Woman's Dream.
I'd like to dedicate this to my daughters. They're not here, but it's something really special that they look up to me. I've never thought of myself as someone to look up to, so I dedicate this to them. Depressed Woman's Dream. I'm feeling better now, but the world still hears my death bones as I walk. I'm an off-key instrument in a song that I didn't create. But they tell me to change my tune as if I'm the composer, as if I'm the one strumming these chords. Some have even called me a weirdo, attention seeker, a Sylvia Plath poser. Ain't she that girl, they say? Oh yeah, that girl. I was born with this low pitch, you see, designed with a gloomy song inside of me, a repetitive minor chord that sounds even as my fists frantically search for higher keys. And this is not how I would choose to be seen, because being called crazy means that all you can be is crazy. And because crazy means people think you are flying carefree in your own world. But the reality is my wings were clipped. I was placed at the top of a tree, pushed out, hit by 1,000 branches. On my way down, had live commentary while the fall broke my mind as they count the bubbles of my last breaths as I'm drowning. As I'm drowning. In my depressed woman's dream, I drag my mind behind me just like a broken leg. And they would immediately make sure that I have a cast. And I wouldn't even have to ask people to sign it. Some would take time in making perfect little hearts, rainbows, get well soons, and multicolored permanent markers. And they'll ask if they can carry my books. And then I tell them that the cast will never come off. I will always need get well soons. I will always need them to remind me of the reason why I'm still here. But this time, after I tell them the truth, they'd stay. I've chosen to live and was once afraid the stigma would never allow me to fully do it, because crazy means I'm frozen in my weakest time, and crazy leaves me stranded and abandoned in my worst choices, which were the best choices I knew to make in those unbearable times. But I'm not there. I'm not the depression that stops me. You see, I'm hitting my elbows on high notes as my mind plays these low keys, and I'm here, and what they call her is what I call me. And I want happiness. I deserve happiness. My children deserve happiness. I want to feel the rain without resonating with it so much. I wish for a world that allows me to appreciate the sun's rays more when they finally come, because I know how the sadness aches in your bones for an entire lifetime when you felt depression's touch. But do you hear me, world? I'm not leaving yet. I'm the thunder before the lightning. I'm the silence girl speaking. I'm the abused publicly weeping. I am the bullied with arms up against the next strike. In my depressed woman's dream, I wrap my mind up like a wound, and the world cheers me on as I nurse it back to health. No one leaves. No one calls me crazy. They call me fierce. They call me the chosen. They call me brave. But until then, I'm not leaving. Until then, I am the roaring thunder before the lightning. I'm that silence girl, now a woman openly speaking. I'm the abused, publicly weeping, and I am the bullied with arms up against the next strike. Thank you.